For decades, Simon Cowell has been one of the most recognizable figures in the entertainment industry. Known for his sharp comments, confident personality, and ability to discover new talent, he became a symbol of success in modern television. Millions of viewers knew him as the tough judge who could make or break a performer's dream. But behind the public image was a much more complicated story. His journey was shaped by ambition, setbacks, personal struggles, family experiences, and moments that forced him to look beyond fame and success. At 65, Simon Cowell's life reflects more than the world of television and music. It is the story of a man who spent years building an empire while learning important lessons about failure, relationships, and what truly matters. Early years and the search for approval. Simon Cowell was born in London in 1959 and grew up in a family connected to the entertainment world. His father, Eric Cowell, worked in the music business, while his mother, Julie, had a background in dance and was known for her warmth and elegance. Although Simon grew up with opportunities many people would dream of, his childhood was not without challenges. He often struggled with traditional education and found it difficult to fit into strict systems. He was not the type of student who followed every rule, and his restless personality sometimes brought him into conflict with teachers. Those early experiences shaped his personality. Simon developed a strong desire to prove himself and create a life where he would not be overlooked. The need to succeed became one of the strongest driving forces behind his career. Years later, he would often reflect on how important recognition and encouragement were during his younger years. That search for validation stayed with him as he entered the competitive world of music, starting from the bottom of the music industry. Before becoming a television personality, Simon Cowell worked behind the scenes in the music industry. His first jobs were far away from fame. He worked at EMI, beginning with basic tasks and learning how the business operated from the ground up. The early years were not easy. He was surrounded by successful artists and executives, but he was still trying to find his own place. Instead of being in the spotlight, he was watching others receive the attention he wanted. Eventually, Simon left EMI and tried to create opportunities for himself. In the 1980s, he started Fanfare Records, a label that experienced both success and failure. For a short period, things looked promising, but changing trends in the music industry created difficulties, and the company eventually collapsed. The failure was a major setback. Simon had to rebuild his career and face the reality of starting over. However, that experience also taught him valuable lessons about business, audiences, and the importance of understanding what people actually connect with, rebuilding his career and finding his formula. The collapse of his first business venture could have ended Simon Cowell's career, but instead, it became a turning point. During the 1990s, Simon returned to the music industry and began working with BMG. He developed a different approach. Rather than focusing only on what critics considered impressive, he paid attention to what audiences enjoyed. He recognized that success was not always about following traditional ideas of quality. Sometimes it was about creating a connection between artists and listeners. Simon helped develop successful acts such as Robson and Jerome and Westlife, proving that his understanding of popular taste could translate into major commercial success. His reputation grew because he was willing to make decisions that others avoided. He trusted his instincts, even when those choices were criticized. Becoming television's most famous judge, Simon Cowell's biggest transformation came when he moved from music executive to television personality. In 2001, he became a judge on Pop Idol in the United Kingdom. His direct style immediately attracted attention. While some viewers found him harsh, others appreciated that he gave honest opinions instead of pretending every performance was perfect. When American Idol launched in 2002, Simon became internationally famous. His expressions, reactions, and straightforward critiques became a major part of the show's appeal. He later expanded his influence through shows like The X Factor and Got Talent. These programs introduced audiences around the world to new performers and turned unknown singers into global stars. However, fame also came with criticism. Simon became a controversial figure because of his strong opinions. Some people admired his honesty, while others felt his approach could be too intense. The same personality that helped create his success also became the reason he attracted criticism. Personal changes and finding a new perspective. As Simon became more successful, his personal life also changed in ways that affected how he viewed himself. In 2014, the birth of his son, Eric, became one of the most important moments of his life. Fatherhood changed his priorities and gave him a different perspective on success. The man who had spent years focused on ratings, business deals, and discovering talent began placing more value on family and personal time. Simon has often spoken about how becoming a father influenced him. It gave him a new sense of responsibility and encouraged him to think beyond his career achievements. For someone who had spent decades building a public image, family became a reminder that life was not only about professional accomplishments, health challenges, and learning to slow down. In 2020, Simon Cowell experienced a serious accident while riding an electric bike. He suffered a significant back injury and underwent surgery. The recovery process forced him to step away from his usual fast-paced lifestyle. For years, Simon had been known as someone constantly working. The accident reminded him that health could not be ignored, even for someone with wealth and influence. Recovery required patience, physical therapy, and lifestyle changes. He later became more focused on fitness and making healthier choices. The experience changed his understanding of vulnerability. Someone who had spent years appearing confident and in control had to accept that everyone faces moments when they need support, facing public criticism and personal reflection. Throughout his career, Simon Cowell has experienced intense public attention. His appearance, decisions, and personality have often been discussed in the media. Like many public figures, he faced criticism over changes in his appearance and choices he made about his image. Eventually, he acknowledged that maintaining a certain look was not as important as feeling comfortable with himself. This period represented another shift in his life. Instead of trying to maintain an image of perfection, Simon appeared more willing to accept aging and focus on experiences rather than appearances. It was another example of how his priorities had changed over time. Loss, grief, and the meaning of legacy. One of the most emotional moments in Simon Cowell's later life was losing people who were important to him. The death of his mother, Julie, was a deeply personal loss. She had been an important figure throughout his life, and her passing affected him greatly. He also experienced grief after the death of Liam Payne, whom he had helped discover as part of One Direction. Watching a young artist he supported achieve worldwide success, and then losing him unexpectedly, was a painful experience. These losses reminded Simon that success and fame cannot protect anyone from the realities of life. They also changed the way he viewed his own legacy. Instead of focusing only on achievements, he became more aware of relationships, memories, and the impact people leave behind. A different kind of success. Today, Simon Cowell is remembered not only as a television judge or music executive, but as someone whose life has included both extraordinary achievements and difficult personal moments. He built entertainment brands watched around the world, discovered artists who became international stars, and changed the way talent shows are created. But beyond the success, his story is also about change. The ambitious young man searching for recognition became a father, a survivor of setbacks, and someone who learned that life is measured by more than fame. Simon Cowell's journey shows that even people who appear powerful and successful face challenges away from the cameras. His greatest lessons may not come from the careers he created, but from the experiences that changed him as a person.